true lack. Lately, I've often found myself watching a program on the Discovery Channel that teaches how to escape from the wilderness. While the likelihood of me venturing into the wild is slim, there are still valuable lessons and insights to be gained from watching. Among these, the most striking lesson was that the first thing people attempting to escape the wilderness do is determine their location. Of course, they enter with some level of preparation, but once there, finding the direction to head in is not as straightforward as one might think. Experts, by observing the sun or the surrounding trees and utilizing their knowledge, decide which way to exit, and also teach various methods to adapt and survive in those conditions. Naturally, this program is designed to provide people stranded in the wild with a chance to survive. As I mentioned earlier, how many people watching this program will end up in the wilderness? However, if we think about it differently, we might realize that, in another sense, we could be lost in the wilderness of our lives. Since Adam's sin, humanity has been in a situation akin to a person lost in the wilderness with nothing. We are lost in sin, adrift in a vast sea of spiritual ignorance and a sense of loss, much like being stranded in the wilderness. The only way for us to find life is to move towards the grace of God, which leads us to survival. However, realizing this truth and seeking the place of grace requires us, like wilderness exploration experts, to first determine our location. Even if we know our destination, we must first understand where we are. Attempting to move toward our goal without this knowledge often leads to failure and frustration. Therefore, just as experts say that understanding one's current location and condition is a vital element in determining life or death, recognizing our position in faith is paramount. Like signaling our location with fire or smoke in the wilderness, believers must communicate their position to God through prayer. Although God may not come to rescue us directly, He will guide us back to the right path from the lost way, sometimes through wisdom and sometimes through helpers. This will enable us to gain life and the strength to overcome in an environment as deadly as the wilderness, facilitating our spiritual survival. We humans are born into this spiritual wilderness and often lose our way in the face of various temptations, the numerous dangers of sin as we live. Remember, at such times, the most important thing is to understand our current location, realize which direction we should head in, and gain the strength to move forward. All of this can be achieved through the Word and prayer, which are the only means and methods to escape the harsh wilderness of this world.
구독, 좋아요, 알림 설정 해주세요. Subscribe, like, set notifications.